You've been working on the COVID stuff for how long? I mean, for years now. From the very beginning, you've been holding, even into the Biden administration, hearing after hearing after hearing. And we still have, Rand Paul came out with a big, announcement today. And I know that, you're both on the Homeland Security Committee. And he says there's a whistleblower from a COVID-19 whistleblower who will testify publicly and in person before his committee tomorrow morning that the intelligence community has covered up the origins of the COVID-19 pandemic for years. Now, listening to Rand Paul talk about this, he says, the U.S. created it in China, which we all knew. I knew that. I was reporting that within a week of COVID, actually starting. I was reporting that U.S. intelligence was involved, and this was, being done at our behest because Congress under Obama had made gain-of-function research in the United States illegal, so we just farmed it out. So there are many people who knew about this for years. And Rand Paul is still out there saying it probably escaped from the lab by accident. By accident. So we take one step forward. We're now going to finally admit what, a lot of people already know, that the U.S. military and the U.S. government was involved in the development of COVID-19, that it took place in China and came out of that lab instead of the wet market. Okay, everybody's known that for years. But we're still saying this just happened by accident?
Well, by the way, we've known for years because we found out that the CIA paid some of their analysts to change their opinion in terms of where this sprang from. I quite honestly, I like you, I assumed immediately when you heard about fear and cleavage site. I talked to computational biologists. They were 100% sure. The guys that Fauci initially contacted were 100% sure this was lab created, right?
Yes.
So I was always, that was not a mystery to me. I just never thought that we'd actually get the smoking gun on that. So I never investigated that. I just thought that was a waste of time. I spent my time trying to figure out, for a true COVID reckoning, what happened? Why did they sabotage early treatment? Why did they continue to sabotage early treatment? I want to prevent, now they're talking about hantavirus, right?
Yeah.
They want to whip this into, again, some huge pandemic, scare the crap out of people, so everybody goes rushing down for the next mRNA vaccine. So
we're not doing
I've been trying to investigate that. And Lara, so what is frustrating to me, 2 Wednesdays ago, I held a hearing and released a report.
Yes.
This is because Bobby Kennedy released 11 million pages against the resistance of his agency. They didn't want to give us this information. He finally got so frustrated, just give them the 11 million pages. Not easy to go through. But again, my staff pulled needles out of the haystack and we uncovered, and this is shocking. This is a bombshell revelation. This should lead the news on major news stations.
That's why you're on this show.
It's all radio silent. So what we uncovered is that on March 1st of 2021, less than 3 months after this gene therapy was being administered, the head of CBER, the head of the Vaccine Approval Agency, the Safety Surveillance Agency, Peter Marks, was briefed that their algorithm that they were using to analyze VAERS was going to hide and mask safety signals. 26 days later, the data mining expert working with the inventor of the algorithm came up with a state-of-the-art algorithm and presented to senior FDA officials that they were seeing 49 cases of extreme masking and 25 safety signals now were being revealed, including sudden cardiac death, pulmonary infarction, Bell's palsy, different types of strokes. Month after month, they kept doing this data mining. They kept showing more and more, sudden death in multiple forms. Now, you think FDA, pinned a medal on their chest and go, thank you, and so let's get out and warn the American public? No. They shunted her off to the side. They told her to cease and desist.